Yo, 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 Jake Parton here, and in this episode I'm going to be talking about spirituality in business. Okay, so a lot of people have got really weird, I believe there's two subjects really that people kind of like shy away from, or when they talk about it, it's like a bit awkward, but they think about it quite a lot. I believe it's God and money. Okay, so God and money are those two subjects. So I want to let you all know right now that they are literally like this, okay, and they work hand in hand. I believe everything comes from God, first of all. I believe everything comes from source, infinite intelligence, universe, whatever you believe in, okay? So when it comes to the law of attraction, as I mentioned in previous videos, the last 6 letters is action, okay? And when I hit a very pinnacle rank within the company, when the CEO of the company asked me how I did it, I simply just replied, I feel closer to God than ever. And if I was in the crowd listening to that response, I wouldn't really understand or know what that person meant by that answer. So which is why I do content like this. I like to break things down. So what I mean by that is, back in 2017, I was in a very, very messed up situation. And I kind of looked up and said, listen, God, if you get me through this mess, I promise to be the message. Okay, I promise. And genuinely, ever since that day, I feel like I've been looked after. I feel like, God and the universe and the law of attraction has put things into my place and always showed, in front of my face and showed me the path and showed me what next step to take, who to listen to. He's put the right people into my life, events, circumstances, give me the right ideas to attract everything that I want. And what I've realized is that the more that I act in alignment with the person that I really want to become, like the best version of me, one of the things that one of my first mentors got me to do was write down the best version of you on paper, and then literally just work every day on becoming that person. And what I found is that the more I act in alignment with that individual, that superhuman version of me, the more clear the signals get, the more frequent the signals get, and I'm able to differentiate between the paradigm, which is the old conditioning, that stinking thinking, and my intuition. It becomes very clear. Whereas in the beginning, you've got a lot of stinking thinking, you've got a lot of conditioning to sort of unlearn, and the voices kind of sound the same. So you're unsure, and you're kind of living in a confused state, and you really need to lean on a mentor. But as you start to grow and develop that spiritual connection and that that competence and maturity, if you like, when it comes to your growth, when it comes to your comfort zone, and like Bob Proctor calls it, the terror barrier, you get used to the process, and you kind of can predict when the paradigm's going to kick in. When those average thinking thoughts are going to come up, the what's it called, imposter syndrome, right? So what I personally focus on is always feeling good now. Someone asked me a really good question on one of the calls that we had the other day, and they said, how do I, stay in alignment with God? How do I tap into source, into infinite intelligence? I believe that infinite intelligence, God, is love. Okay, so, and without sounding corny or cheesy, but once you've got the blueprint that you need to follow to become successful, whether it be health and fitness, in business, your job is to follow that blueprint regardless of how you feel every day. That's called discipline, right? You need motivation to get you started, but discipline to get you over the finish line, right? So knowing that you have to do these things, and what winners do, they do them anyway, and they know they're going to do them anyway. The key then is to make sure that you're feeling as good as possible all day long, which is, doing things like petting your pets, spending time with your pets, spending time with your loved ones, going for long walks out in nature, getting some fresh air, making sure that you're eating nice food, you're taking on a lot of water, you're working out every day, you're doing things that are constantly making you feel on a scientific level better. Okay, what this is going to do, it's going to put you in alignment with God, and you're going to receive a lot more signals, a lot more guidance as you go about your process. Okay, guys, this may be going over a lot of people's heads, but the people that are listening to me right now, and they're getting it, you're getting it, right? This is it. I'm doing my very best to sort of articulate what I focus on, but there's time and time again where I focused on feeling good intentionally, taking care of things. In the last 24 hours, I've had a really good example. A really good example. So in the last 24 hours, what I did is I messed up on my diet plan. Okay, it was intentional. I chose to do it. It was Mother's Day. I thought, listen, I'm going to cook my wife a meal, and so she's not eating it on her own. I'm going to have a Sunday roast. She's just about to give birth. Circumstances are circumstances. It is what it is. I decided to cheat on my diet plan. Okay. Now, next day, woke up, felt a little bit groggy, of course, because I've took on more food than normal, and it wasn't as healthy as it should have been. So I'm feeling a little bit groggy. Wasn't feeling the best. Put 2 trades on. Without going through the normal process, because my head was a bit foggy. Like I said, I felt a bit groggy. Here's what I should have done. I should have not put the trades on. I should have monitored how I thought and how I felt, and thought, you know what, because I'm not feeling optimal right now, I shouldn't even put these trades on. You know what I did? Put the trades on anyway. Did it anyway, guys. Messed up. Okay, big losses on my trades. But it's okay. It's only money. We got many different streams of income, so we're good. Then what happened is this: I took a step back and I thought, you know what, I need to get some order in my life. I need to prioritize things. We got the house sorted. I made a plan for my day. I put in place not a punishment, but a kind of discipline for the week. And then all of a sudden, we got a really big deal, and we're going to be receiving a big chunk of money very, very shortly. Because of things have lined up perfectly. Okay, so that just shows you that, and that was a sign from me that was God kind of like punishing me for not sticking to it, but then rewarding me for acknowledging it and getting back on track as soon as possible. That's what that process was for me. And I saw this happen, guys, time and time again in my life. And the ones that are really coachable and really listen to me and really take on board what I'm saying, you will have to realize this information yourself. You can't really teach it. You have to go out there and realize it. This is how I input spirituality into my business. Okay, I work very closely with the universal laws. I know that I'm being watched 24/7. Your subconscious mind is recording everything that you're doing, everything you're saying, and every intention that you're putting out. And I'll just make sure that I do as best as I can to be the best version of me, be very, very pure, and strive for that perfection, which we know doesn't exist, but that's what winners do anyway. We strive for perfection, even though we know deep down it doesn't exist. So guys, listen, that's what I do. That's how I intertwine spirituality when it comes to business. I'm very grateful. I start every single day with gratitude. I get to build this business. I get to do these videos. I get to, help people. Everything's a get to and not a got to, because I'm so grateful that when you wake up and you've got a breath, that's worth more than any dollar amount possible. Because then we get to wake up and build whatever we want to be, and that's what human beings are supposed to do: create with our mental faculties and just become the best version of ourselves and help other people do the same thing. So guys, listen, I'm grateful. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Subscribe, share it on your story modes. I love you all. God bless. Let's go.